How We Make Movies is brought to you by Microsoft Surface, Assimilate, Azo, Moviola, and Canon Hollywood. It's shot in front of a live audience in Los Angeles and hosted by the film collective We Make Movies.
It's really great. It's worth the money.
This is going to be one of those podcasts where people have to go back and like take notes later.
Exactly.
But you can always like pause it, rewind, go back.
And we've seen this film. We had a DCP made of this. And we screened, when we screened at Seattle.
What is DCP?
Digital cinema package. So basically like your film print, essentially. Okay. And so when we screened in Seattle, we had that. When we screened at Dance with the Films here in LA at the Chinese 6 on their big 500-foot screen, that's what we used. And so we took the original 1080p file. It was blown up to 2K. That's what we played it out as. And I sat there and looked at it on that massive screen, and there might have been just a little bit of softness. But honestly, it looked great. It looked really, really good, you know, and that was one of the big fears, because everyone's talking about resolution, and you need a Red, or you need an Alexa, and you need 5K and 6K and 7K and 20K and whatever that's going to be. And the fact is what I learned on this is that the audience just doesn't care.
What do they care about?
They care about a good story. They care about characters.
Yeah.
So you can shoot it on you can spend the money and you can shoot it on Red, and everyone's going to say, wow, it looks great. And you can shoot it on 5D, and everyone will say, wow, it looks great. I'm not going to know. And so it's like, you know, you can have clearly, we all know, we all go see those movies that have all the big fancy special effects and cost $200 million to make, and they're empty and don't have great characters and don't have a great story, and we leave feeling like we wasted the money. And then we see these smaller stories and smaller character-driven stuff, we go, why can't we have more of that?
Well, those are the ones that, yes. Yeah.
It's why television has become so popular. You know, it's character. I mean, television doesn't have the budget to do stuff big. Yeah, and binge watching, but it's that deep dive into character, and I think, you know, obviously features are moving away from that.
Do you find it's more inspirational and you just kind of write what you see, or do you kind of follow a process that you've learned over time?
I don't know, because Layover feels in a way a bit of an outlier for me. I have in the past with my shorts and with the features I've written have tend to focus a lot more on thriller. And still character, but more thriller. And so this kind of, you know, cinema nouveau, like, you know, French New Wave approach to just following people around is like a very, very different thing. On this one, it was probably the first time where I basically had the first 40 minutes down and had no idea where it was going to go from there, and just started writing. Because what's tough about something like this is it's episodic. So it becomes, well, why do they go to a club instead of a house party? Or why do they go here instead of here? And it's like, I don't know. Like, they go a million different directions. They're not following any kind of conventional plot where you're like, okay, now they got the money, and because they have the money now, they have to go to this place to try and pay back the debt or whatever that story is.